Before you, friend, lies an example of a formula that's existed for a very long time, and we can probably thank Porsche for that, where you take one model and you just exponentially explode and stretch out the number of versions and trims offered for one single model. This is a 2024 Lexus RX, which has historically been one of the best, most relaxing, enjoying, reliable, low ownership cost, premium SUV in the market, in the segment, in the country, on the continent, bar none, one of the best of its kind. And over all that period of time, what Lexus has done is multiply the number of versions, mostly with hybrids, and they have been, as you very well know, extremely popular. And what you may also know is that hybrid has now more or less evolved into, for some models, a performance alternative to the regular petrol-powered version. Enter this Lexus RX 500h F Sport. That's right. This, my friends, is the most powerful, fastest, I'm going to go so far as the best handling, best equipped, most enjoyable, most refined Lexus RX I have ever driven. I've always enjoyed the vehicle for its sereneness, as I was just saying, how posh it is, and how it's just good in every possible respect. I mean, it's always, in my opinion, symbolized ultimate luxury in the semi-affordable premium mid-size SUV. More so than anything from Audi, from Benz, or from Mercedes, Audi, Benz, BMW, sorry, and Infiniti and Acura, whatever. And it just keeps getting better. I swear to you, if you're considering an RX, any version is very good. Hybrids, number one. But if you want all the Lexus spice you can possibly get in an SUV, which you can get in an SUV, and you want all that premiumness and that comfort, this is the version. I've essentially sold you the entire video right at the beginning, as I often do. But look, if you don't mind, we'll do a couple of laps, few laps of this 2024 Lexus RX 500h F Sport. And we'll point out a few things that explain why it's so damn expensive, because everything's expensive today. And then we're going to go for a really, really good drive. At least I'm going to enjoy it. So please hang in there. All right, pricing in the US starts at $49,950 for the RX350 front-wheel drive and maxes out at $70,580 for the 450h Plus, which is the plug-in hybrid iteration of this SUV. In Canada, all-wheel drive is standard, so 350 all-wheel drive is $59,850. And at the other end of the spectrum, that same RX 450h Plus plug-in hybrid is $86,950. With the base price, I mean, you still get a very, very well-equipped SUV for about $60K, which isn't insane money anymore, because you could spec out a lot of mid-sized three-row SUVs for that kind of money, such as a Pilot and so on, for $60K. You do get a power hatch, 9.8-inch touchscreen, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, heated, cooled front seats, and heated steering wheel. I mean, the level of equipment is fair for the SUV. Now, when you jump up to a said 500h right here, you're looking at $81,500. But that $20,000+ jump is justified by the powertrain, which I'll tell you more about later on. And a few physical changes with the F Sport. You get a more aggressive grille. Everything else is blacked out. You have body color, side moldings. You have black rails here. The panoramic sunroof, and you also get a 14-inch touchscreen. You get real leather all around, heated and cooled rear seats, heads-up display, and these quite nice, admittedly 21-inch wheels. This one has the F Sport 3 package, which I think is a little bit unnecessary. You get the Mark Levinson 21 speaker audio system and advanced park and a bunch of other just
more or less pointless gadgets. So as it sits here painted in cloudburst gray, $87,800. It's a lot of money, but for 81.5, okay, and add an extra $500 for, you know, one of the special colors. I forget what the orange color is called, but that's actually quite nice on this thing. Look, styling wise, it's beautiful. I love, see, for this one, the proportions work out very, very well. You know, long front end, very flat nose. It's just really, really nice. I love it. I absolutely love it. And there's nothing else to say, really. Okay, so, oh, what you also get in this model is, if it's gonna work, there it is. So that opens up to 838 liters of boot space, which is very usable, very golf bag friendly. I may have mentioned this in some RX reviews in the past, that neighbors of my parents are on their 4th RX, I think, in 16 or 17 years. This still has those funny door handles, which are actually kind of cool. But this is where it gets really interesting. It's the fit, the finish, the materials. Look at the textures. I always find it funny that this is what was in cheap cars back in the day. Now it's back into premium cars as a premium touch. But look, it works. It's really, really nice. Power reclining rear seats. Here are your heated and cooled seat buttons and HVAC controls for the rear. Back here, look at the seats. There's a generous enough amount of space for an average sized adult to sit for a few short minutes. Up front, again, same thing. Just, it's really, really nice. I mean, sure, it looks good, but I wouldn't spend the extra money for that. The switch gear is always so nice, and it just feels good to the touch in your Lexus products. Multi-way power adjustable F-Sport seats with power lumbar. It's really aggressive, the lumbar. I love it. Great bolstering. See, it's the same kind of, not Alcantara, but ultra suede on the side bolsters. It's just really lovely. So let's get in. So this has digital display, which I believe is 7 inches across in the middle. Everything is there. There's nothing much to discuss. So this is your 14-inch display. I mean, there are no hard buttons per se, except for defrost and heated mirrors and the volume and the temp, but everything else is on screen. And for the most part this week, nothing to complain about as far as the speed at which it loads up. When you turn it on, you have your main menu controls here. Your shortcuts right there, which are very useful. So your most frequently used, as you can see, Eco and Sport, which I've been playing with, and this obviously turned it off. Your drive modes are right here too. I have configured custom, but I've been driving an Eco almost exclusively. It just works so absolutely well in this SUV. I'll obviously tell you a bit more about that later on. Look, the screen itself is curved a little bit towards the driver, so it's very accessible, even at the furthest end. Like I sit, you know, with my back very glued against the seat back, and it's just perfect. Storage is very decent. A little pocket here. There's your wireless charger for the phone. Deep, good sized. Where is it? There it is. Good sized, and as always in these vehicles, the visibility is quite good, and it does help that the screen is so low down. And the A-pillars are very much raked, but you have a nice little opening right there to see. And this is truly a very, very lovely place to be and to drive. And it gets exciting from here on in, I swear. Oh, before I go, see that? Yeah, that's why it gets exciting. Anyway, here we go. Now, most impressive of all, as I do quick little three-point turn, is the drive, because quite honestly, and this happens seldomly, where the driving experience is perfect, and I cannot find anything specifically wrong with it. Where to start? It has four-wheel steering, although, you know, it's nothing crazy, but it still has four-wheel steering, meaning that despite weighing almost 5,000 pounds, especially with me in it, it's actually quite nimble, and the turning radius is fairly tight. Switching lanes, you know, depending on the speeds, it accentuates, I'll work with Lexus here, the F-sportness of this SUV. The greatest aspect of that is the 2.4 turbo hybrid system that with the rear e-axle direct 4 all-wheel drive. So the direct 4 means it has a more powerful rear electric motor that can on its own generate or provide up to 80% of all the driving force, meaning that dynamic driving is very possible. The result of the 2.4 liter turbocharged engine, which is a standard engine in the RX500 now, which puts out 275 HP in that, with the more powerful electric motor and everything else involved in here with the battery and all that, you're looking at 367 system horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque in a Lexus RX, no less. Which means that this aforementioned between 48 and 5,000 pound SUV will reach 100 kilometers an hour from a standstill in about 6.1 seconds. It's look, I don't want to talk about average fuel consumption numbers because it should be relevant. Lexus says you can average about 8.6 in combined driving in this SUV, which I firmly believe, because Lexus and Toyota's hybrid fuel consumption numbers, ratings, estimates are typically spot on. I might be doing a little bit more than that, but that's because at almost every opportunity I kind of do that and scare the person in front of me. The swell of torque is fantastic, and as noted, I'm in eco drive mode. Now in sport, it just means that it picks up a little bit quicker, but I mean, passing on the highway, and I don't know, it's completely insane. It's unexpected, but so welcomed. Yeah, passing on the highway is easy peasy. Steering actually almost feels like it's connected to the wheels. I guess there's a tune in the steering for this that kind of makes you feel like there's more weight behind what you'll be doing, more organic weight, not fake weight. But maybe that's just me, that I'm overly enthusiastic about this SUV. Brakes feel strong. Pedal travel is perfectly adapted to, nut jobs like me or the average smart, reasonable driver. And then there's the adaptive variable suspension, which is, it's a dream. It's like driving on a cloud. It is so nice. It is so composed, comfortable. It's just insane. And even when Nutjob over here is driving, taking on some of his favorite on-ramps or off-ramps with, like a series of 3 elbows connecting, and I'm leaning into it, okay, it's not exactly flat, but no matter what, you feel the grip. You feel the ability to push it even harder through the apexes, the corners than you should, but that's not important. What's important is that in town, bumps, little cracks, nothing, absolutely nothing. And with the 21-inch wheels too, it is supremely comfortable, supremely refined. And then, 6-speed automatic transmission, not an ECVT or an 8-speed like you get in a regular 2.14 non-hybridized. With it too is just a lot of fun. I mean, you can put it in manual mode and use the paddle shifters. I haven't bothered with that because I imagine that 103% of owners of these things will never use them. Yes, I said 103. But if you've lasted this long, thank you in the video. You may have picked up on the fact that I really, really like this SUV. I mean, I still like the X5 quite a bit, but for what this is, who it's intended for, I guess an older man like me, this thing is just about unbeatable. I can't think. Yes, the X5 is nice, but there's no Q8, Q7, Q5, the GLC. This is going to be so much more reliable than a GLE, more reliable than an X5 too. But the X5 has a
certain je sais quoi, you know, in that dynamic BMW style driving, if that's what you want. Otherwise, if you don't want that extra sharpness, this 500h is your premium enough performance SUV. I really, really like it. And that's it.